coming to us from Philadelphia. This is a cornerback from Villanova, NFL hopeful, number 4, Rob Rolle. Rob, how you doing, man?
What's going on? I'm good. How are you?
Doing great, man. Thanks for joining us. I really appreciate you coming on, man.
Absolutely. I appreciate your time as well.
Yeah, man. All right, so Rob is a cornerback from Villanova, projected to go in the NFL draft.
More specifically, safety.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry. So Rob,
I watched those highlights. I was like, I got to see. Oh no, man, has got ball skills. Yeah.
Rob, where else did you have offers from coming out of high school that you ended up at Villanova?
Yeah, my only 1A offer was out of University of Massachusetts, and I had a couple other small school offers like Monmouth, William & Mary, Delaware, and Villanova.
Nice. So what was the deciding factor for Villanova? What was the tipping point that you were like, that's the school I want to go to?
Yeah, me and my mother went on an unofficial visit over the summer, and Coach Talley at the time was the head coach, and he gave us a nice one-on-one tour around campus. Really made me and my mother feel very welcome and at home, and gave us that real family-oriented feel with the organization, and it was, something that we were really much looking for. And as opposed to going to a big 1A school just to say that I went 1A, we decided to go to a smaller school and to a place in which I had the better opportunity to showcase my talent.
Well, Villanova is, obviously traditionally thought of as a basketball school for obvious reasons, and we're Xavier guys, so thank you for those beatdowns. What's it like to have won a national title, as a school while you were there? How awesome was that?
It was a really fun time. It made the experience at school, that much greater. And it also gave the football team a lot of motivation to know that, we had class with these guys. We're the only ones who's there all summer. So we're, for the most part, we're really cool with the basketball team. We're there year round, putting the work in together. So it kind of puts our dream into fruition as well to see that, it could be accomplished, but just hard work. So that's big. And then also, just, the excitement and fun that it brought to the university, with the celebrations and the parade and everything. And then, the Eagles win the Super Bowl. So just our city and our environment, our areas had a lot of success, and it was, fun to be a part of.
That must be weird to be in a city that has a lot of success with sports teams. We don't know anything like
Cincinnati
that.
Cincinnati has nothing like that. Just nothing but heartbreak. So, Rob, what is that dynamic like between the basketball team and the football team? Are you guys, I know you said you kind of work together, but is there like some type of almost like one-upsmanship, like you're always trying to outdo the basketball team and trying to get that attention a little bit more?
Not really, because, you come into the school, you already know kind of what the environment's like, and those guys are like, the bigger name, bigger recruit guys. But, the atmosphere, the relationship between, basketball and football is really good. Coach Jay Wright comes and speaks to the football team a couple of times, and that was really cool. He gave us a great insight, and he's a great motivational speaker to us as well. And then, like I said, we're there in the summer, so it's only us, football, basketball, maybe a couple other sports, but we take classes together, we eat together, we chill together. We're in each other's rooms on campus. So it's a good environment, a good atmosphere amongst one another. We both support each other a lot. So I don't really think there's any feelings like that. But like I said, just watching them be successful. Those are guys that are regular guys just like you. They're not like crazy superstar guys. They're the people who come in and put the work in just like you do. So it gives you that little extra motivation to see people that you're really close with be successful like that.
Now, you mentioned the Eagles and obviously them being, local. What was your favorite NFL team growing up?
The Falcons. I grew up loving Mike Vick, and he was my favorite player. And, watching what he did in Atlanta, instantly gravitated to them, and I've been a fan of them ever since.
All right, Rob, what's the better video game player to play with then, Mike Vick in the Madden series or Bo Jackson back in Tecmo Bowl? What's your go-to?
I don't think anyone compares to Madden, Mike Vick. He was a cheat code. I think at the time everyone was Falcons fans at the time when he was popping on Madden. And at the time, you just run back and press the Y button and scramble with him, and that changed the game.
It was awful playing against Mike Vick. It was the worst.
There was the Mike Vick rule where people couldn't play as Mike Vick.
You couldn't be Mike Vick. If you picked the Falcons, you had to sub somebody else in.
But ironically enough, the team that I could shut down Mike Vick with was the Eagles back then. I would run their spread defense, and I would play against Mike Vick. I'm like, all right, if you're going to be Vick, then I'm going to be the Eagles, because they had Dawkins and everything. But
right. I'm gonna say lurk with them with B-Dog.
Yeah. Anyway, though, you're about to make the transition to the NFL, and obviously there's been a lot of conversation with overtime the last couple of weeks with how things have worked out in the playoffs. Which do you prefer, the college overtime or NFL overtime?
I like the college overtime rule because, I mean, it gives you, that equal opportunity. I think it draws that much more excitement. I think it's a little bit frustrating being on the opposite side of the NFL rules. Although I did see a statistic where it said, college and NFL overtime stats, it's still 50, 52 or something percent in terms of whoever gets the ball first. But I'm just seeing the NFL and, obviously what's going on lately and seeing certain quarterbacks not even have an opportunity to touch the ball. So, I mean, that's just a little bit frustrating. But, that's what comes with the tide. But I think college rules are much better. My freshman year at Villanova, we went to double overtime with Syracuse. And, that was the funnest experience of my first game in college. That was, you get to see the rules. You go in there and you battle it out. So I just think that's really cool.
That's awesome to hear you say that, because the thing that everybody points to with the NFL staying the same is they say it's not fair to the defense. Like, defense is part of it. And coming from a defensive player, it's cool to hear you say, like, no, the college way that's the way to go.
Yeah, I think definitely. What it comes down to is just the ability to go out there and execute. I mean, even though oftentimes whoever scores first or whatever the case may be may come out victorious, but there's always a chance for the defense, and you can't really put the blame on one side or the other. Just whoever goes out there, you have to execute your job and get off the field. So, definitely from a defensive perspective, you got to get the job done. You don't really have time for excuses.
Well, and in that same vein, obviously with the last few years, both college and NFL, there's been a lot of rules changes, and they've mostly been geared toward making more offense. But if there was one rule that you could change or adjust, either college or NFL, what would it be to make the game better overall?
I think the targeting rule is the biggest one because it just completely changes the aspect of how you play defense. I think, when you see a defensive player or something, there's a certain level of safety that needs to be involved in proper way to tackle and things like that. But, you see certain guys go up and, that may be, how they make their money. They go out there and they time the ball up perfectly and they know how to get in there and, make that collision to spur the ball loose. But, they're penalized and they get targeted and they're ejected from the game. So, especially at the college level, you see ejections way more frequently. But, just seeing those targeting and defensive rules. I mean, football is a violent sport, and it's not for everybody, So if you're not willing to go out there and take that hit, which everyone was willing to do, for previous years to come, then, maybe football is not for you. So, just seeing that targeting rule and seeing, how it negatively affects teams sometimes when you see players getting ejected so early in the game and, they either miss the rest of the game or they got to sit out the first half of the next week. It's just frustrating, to sometimes you see players get that a lot when they're aggressive and, physical tacklers.
Rob, so let me ask you this. We did a story before you got on the phone of a University of Florida girl coming up with the worst way to heckle basically a Ole Miss basketball player. She printed out their Tinder conversation and handed it out to the entire student body. What's the worst heckle that you've ever experienced on the field?
Let me think. I can't think of any in particular to myself, but I know, especially with technology and social media, I got guys on my team who in the locker room, they're on all the opposing wide receivers, social media, they're Googling them, they're trying to find everything, I don't care, even if it's just a name, something personal where, if I could talk about a wide receiver sister or, whatever, I've seen my teammates, take that, and go crazy with it. So I don't know if it's as personal as, really printing out, messages or anything like that. But I think with technology and the way social media is, man, I've seen, that trash talk come to another level now. But I don't think anything's really personal to me. I go out there and just handle my business. I don't really worry about all that extra stuff.
Do you consider yourself a trash talker on the field?
I think it brings a good part of competition out of me. I was roommates, with 3 Florida boys, and if you know anything about Florida and the way that their athletes compete, trash talk is a big part of their game, and being roommates with 3 of them, I guess kind of made my trash talk a little bit better. So I think once I get going, it could definitely I think it elevates my game to an extent, makes me more amped up. But I only really like to, talk if I'm really provoked. For the most part, I'm kind of in my own world. I'm on the field, vibing, and probably rapping or listening to music, in my own head. But once I'm provoked and once that's triggered, I guess defense mode comes out, and then I'm gonna be at your neck.
I love this idea of you guys no, man, you got to redo that one. That wasn't good enough. You're running lines and practicing. I love that.
It's like as soon as we get done practice, as soon as we get in the car, it's like a 20-minute, session where you're just going at each other. Just it's almost like practice, every day.
So you mentioned Mike Vick was your favorite player to watch growing up. Who is the best player you've ever played against at any level?
Well, I played with a bunch of guys, growing up. Guys like Jawan Johnson is one of my best friends. He's wide receiver at Penn State. Corey Clemens, a running back now for the Eagles, played at Wisconsin. We all kind of played together in midget football. So I think competition was already instilled early in, midget football. But once I got to college, I think one person I'm going to always remember is Darius Victor, the running back from Towson. He was a wide physical load. And someone who ran the ball very aggressively. So that was someone that you had to make sure you brought your full game and brought that physicality to match his effort every time. But one person, Ernest Edwards from Maine, is someone that I always bring up because he's such a small, shifty type of wide receiver. He's not really the fastest person, but when you play against him, it almost takes the game and takes you back to backyard football because if you don't make the right angle or have the right leverage, he's going to be out there, like a little joystick. So, that was someone every year, he's either it's a kick return on us or, some type of screenplay that turns, to a 60-yard run. But, he's just a dynamic player and someone I respect a lot.
So, all right, last question before we get to kind of our quick hitters, the way we like to end interviews. Should EA Sports bring back their college football series?
Oh my gosh, should they, man? I'm getting tired of Madden. There hasn't been a good sports game since NCAA stopped being played. Since it was on, I think NCAA 04 on the GameCube. Well, I don't know, like maybe Matt Liner or something on the cover at USC, and then it's like, man, every NCAA game that's ever been created, the best sports game out. I definitely think they should put the little differences aside and having to worry about player likeness and stuff. And just let people enjoy the game because that was one of the funnest games to play. And I remember when I was in midget football, I would go and create my whole team, on the roster and put us all on college teams. So that's just something God did since we were little.
So would you be upset if you were on EA Sports NCAA Football, like your likeness, your number, your stats?
I wouldn't want a penny. I wouldn't care.
Yeah,
I would not care.
That's exactly what I figure most guys would.
Any college athlete who's that focused on trying to get money off of it, although it is respectfully so if it's using your likeness, but for me and for my love of the game and just the excitement of one day just being able to say you're on the game without having to go in and create yourself on your own, that's just like that's a big thing.
The only thing that would take away from that is when you look at it and you're like, man, why are they rating me so low?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, right. That's how NFL guys are now. They're going in with the EA Sports guys and telling them up their rating.
All right, well, before we wrap things up and let you get out of here, we're going to hit you with our quick hitter questions. These are just first answer that pops into your head. Just go with it. Don't give it too much diagnosis or thought. Just whatever comes to your mind when we answer.
All right.
Plain cake donuts. Yay or nay?
I can't. What was it? Plain what?
Plain cake donuts. No frosting, just a regular cake donut. Yes or no?
Nay. No.
My man Rob.
Jordan or LeBron?
LeBron.
Nice. That's a good answer.
Kids these days.
All right, these next two are thinkers. When you put on a button shirt, do you button from the top down or the bottom up?
Top down.
Yes, that's normal.
No, Rob, come on, man.
You can't button from the bottom up. That's wrong.
Exactly. It doesn't line up.
Shut up and ask more questions. Stop.
When you put your pants on, do you button then zip or zip then button?
Zip then button.
There you go. All right, back on track, Rob. Back on track.
Is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
I don't even know. Die Hard, I don't know.
Okay.
Have you ever seen Die Hard?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I can't
That
think
works.
of it off the top of my head.
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
I don't like hot dogs, so I'm gonna say no.
Yes.
Reasoning's the best.
Yes.
I don't like hot dogs, so no, whatever. I don't care.
Only time I eat hot dogs if they're cut up with baked beans, so I'm gonna say no. They're not a sandwich.
All right.
Honesty, I love it.
If you only had one choice with your chicken wings, are you going with all drums or all flats?
All flat. Oh my goodness. All
That
flat.
was so quick.
Easy.
The most
All
definitive
flat.
answer yet.
That's Rob's order right there. Rob.
Before
I get frustrated when they tell me I can't order all flat.
Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
Oh,
No.
no.
Straight no.
Plain pizza. Plain pizza.
Nothing. You
cheese
go
guy?
nothing.
Plain pizza.
Kevin
Stuffed crust.
McAllister out here. Jeez.
And our last one, are you a Coke or a Pepsi guy?
Pepsi. My mom, oh my goodness, man, she could personally endorse Pepsi. She's the one who keeps them afloat. If they were ever about to go out of business, she's the one who kept them alive.
Oh man.
Rob, let me ask you, man, real quick. What's your plans for the draft? Are you gonna sit down at home, get the family over, have a little party going to watch it?
Yeah, right now I'm currently up in North Jersey at Test Football Academy with Kevin Dunn and his staff. You know, we're doing an amazing job putting in that work and preparing myself for my pro day. And then I'll probably just be home, you know, in South Jersey with my family, just around everyone who's supporting me. You know, just try to, you know, make it a nice little small event. You know, all my family and friends who, you know, like I said, who have supported me since day one, you know, just make it a fun experience for them.
Well, we're on Team Rob at this point, man.
Yeah, man. We'll be
wish
rooting for you.
Nothing
during the
but the
draft.
best for you. I mean, we'll stop by South Jersey. It's not that far of a trip, so we'll just pop over. We'll bring the flat wings.
We'll bring plain pizza.
It'll be
Bring right. Bring some flats. It'll be
Pepsi.
good.
We'll bring a whole bunch of
All
Pepsi.
the Pepsi. Tell moms we coming through with the Pepsi.
Rob, thanks so much, man, for the time tonight. We wish you nothing but the best, man. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys for your time too.
Yes, sir.
All right, cheers, bud. That is Rob Rolle, quarterback from Villanova, NFL hopeful. Man, I hope he picks up somewhere.
You can come play for the Niners.
I'll take you to Cincinnati.